was the expression what I felt after the Soak in Ecstasy program, and it was just a pure bliss. So many ecstasies during the program. Namaste, thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to share my experience of the Soak in Ecstasy program which Sadhguru had conducted, and just wanted to give you a rundown of what the program was and how it was conducted. So obviously Sadhguru had chosen Sydney to conduct the first advanced program, which was called Soak in Ecstasy. Obviously there were about 8,000 people, and I was volunteering as well. So I was volunteering for 2 days because of my other commitments. I could not actually volunteer for all 3 days, but I volunteered for 2 days, and then I attended the program on Saturday, which was the 20th of Jan. So after the volunteering, we did all the setup. On Friday, Sadhguru actually came to see us, just because we were all working so hard. So as soon as he landed, he came to see us in the main hall. On Saturday morning, check-in opened at around 6:30. So I was in the ushering team, so I was volunteering as well until I wanted to go in. So 8 o'clock I finished my volunteering and I attended the program. When we sat down, the first thing all did the Shambhavi Mahamudra all together. It was guided by Sadhguru. And then after we finished the guided meditation, then Sadhguru came, and we were all in such a state, because you can imagine 8,000 people, the energy which was created was so intense. And when he walked in, the background music which was playing, it like everyone was in tears, because the energy he was emitting was so overwhelming. I couldn't hold mine as well, so I was in tears as well. I don't know how it happened, but he was very far off, and then he walked all the way to the back of the hall and then came on my side. So I saw him very closely, and yeah, the energy he was emitting, it was just so intense and quite overwhelming. You might have seen my video on the highlights, and you could see the first part when he actually walked into the hall. That's when like everyone was in tears. After that, he spoke about few things, and then he took us through a purification meditation. That meditation was very intense. Before and after the meditation, obviously there were certain rules which were told. We had to be just one-on-one with Sadhguru, regardless whether there were 8,000 people in the hall. It was just me and him. That's it, and that's all I know. So when we did the meditation, it was very intense, because he actually got us into deep state of meditation, and then at one point he asked us to accumulate anger, jealousy, and whatever bad negative things you have in your body, to throw it out. And as it was just coming, like he got us to get it at the Mooladhara, at the base of your spine, and then gradually bring it up. The way it was bringing up, like obviously I didn't feel much about anger and jealousy, because I don't think I have that. But for fear, obviously it was like, everyone was, they were shouting, and I mean, I could hear some noises, but I was so into it, I couldn't feel anyone else surrounding. It was just me and him. And then after the purification process, it felt as if I was like newly born in the world. I think I haven't spoken with other people, but they probably had the similar experience, where people went through intense, they had to throw out all that. And it was like he's pulling all that negativity and throwing it out of our bodies. And then we had this purest form. After we finished the meditation, we were asked, we broke for the lunch break. The meals were all served by the venue, and it was as per the requirements. So the requirements were for 3 days, minimum 3 days, we had to follow a vegan diet, and especially no grains, no legumes. So it was just fruit and vegetables, nothing else. I had actually followed that diet from 8th, which was 2 weeks before, and I had continued. I lost about 3 kgs, but it was really good to actually have that. And while we were volunteering, obviously the meals for volunteers were served according to what the specifications was. Once we broke out for the break, we were asked not to maintain any eye contact, just be within ourselves, not to have any conversations, or if we have to have conversation, it needs to be very minimal. So everyone was in silence. We all walked upstairs to the breakout rooms where the lunch was served. We had our own lunch, and then quietly we came back and sat, and then he ran us through another meditation, which was quite intense. I think that meditation was one of the meditations was very similar, covered in the satsangs which were happening during the COVID time. He had ran that, but doing that meditation is in his presence is completely different, because the energy levels he brings within us is completely different. Like, you can't compare it doing it at home and doing in front of him. So he took us through this meditation, and after the meditation, we were all so ecstatic. Like, we were literally like dripping. We were all in tears. And after that, we were just dancing. Like, obviously, there was some music played. It was a very energetic, ecstatic state which everyone was in, and everyone was so joyful. Everyone felt so pleasant after that. And where even it's been like 2 weeks now, even if I think about it, it's just I'm in tears sometimes, because the experience is so touching that you can't really forget that experience. And then after that, he was talking about Bindu. There's a point in our brain where if it's touched, obviously it drips nectar. And he asked a question whether you want to have the theory behind it or you want to experience it. So half of the people said we want to experience, half said we want both. So he started explaining, and then obviously time ran out. And it would have been good actually if we would have done the third meditation, like touching that core. But he said, obviously, if you keep doing your Shambhavi and the other practices, it will eventually open. That's the best way it can open. If you open it with force, and if you're not in the right state of mind, it can actually be an adverse effect for you. You can go crazy. And he talked about people going crazy, and he gave some statistics about the people who are in mental health. Actually, about 8% were around from doing wrong practices in yoga. So that was an alarming number. So even if you're in spirituality or you want to try and get to somewhere, make sure you do it in presence of your guru, because these things are very potent, and they have they can destroy your life as well, because if it opens accidentally, and if you can't control that, you're just basically destroying your life. So make sure that you do it with a guru, a guided guru, and always the guru actually sees where you are, at what stage you are, and he amps, it turns the voltage a little bit high or low depending on what level you are at. And after that, then obviously you just feel what you feel. I don't have words what I actually felt. It just felt as if I was newly born, and the way I started looking at things, I've become much calmer, like totally calm. I'm so much at ease, I can't even narrate. There's no fear left, there's no anger, there's no jealousy, nothing. I've just become really neutral in all the things if I see. And since I've been through that program, I've noticed some more clarity in my thoughts. I know exactly what needs to be done. I'm less attached to things now. I'm not entangled. I'm involved, but I'm not entangled. And that's one of the differences which I've seen. But it was quite a good experience. Then he also talked about having a center in Australia, because we had question and answer sessions. One of the person said, what's the process if we want to have like a center in Australia? And he did raise to people, like if we do want to write to them, like write to Isha Foundation, and then he'll consider how many replies he has. So we had a meeting on Sunday in relation to this, and Hopefully we have a center soon in Australia. That would be really good. And that's pretty much it. I thoroughly enjoyed the days I spent, and volunteering was such a great experience. Like, it's like a whole family together. Like, there's people coming from everywhere around Australia. We don't know each other, but we form our bonds. Like, it's just a really great experience. This is the second time I've volunteered. I had volunteered in 2019 for Sadhguru's program as well, and I do volunteer as off and on when I can in Perth. So it's an amazing experience. I think for people who have not done inner engineering, I highly vouch them to do it. They've made it very simple now, so it's all online, and you can just register. There's a discount going on at the moment. You can do it at your own convenience. It's only the initiation part where he actually transfers the energy. That's on set days, and it's a live session. So that's all I would like to share. If you have people who have attended the program, if you do have your experiences you would like to share, please write them in the comments, and I look forward to your comments and your experiences. But other than that, until next video, namaste.